Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Around the Creek podcast bonus episode. As always, I'm Elijah.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Owen.
Let's get right into our topics. Topics.
Yeah, topic.
Singular topic, and this one is
Yeah.
a little bit different from Bluey. This is
It
a
is.
topic that I've been sort of interested in.
We've all been interested in.
We've all been interested in.
It's
I
true,
know.
yeah.
I know Owen has also been interested in it. I haven't seen you talk a whole lot about Elijah, so it's gonna be interesting to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
On this. So we're talking
But what is...
We're
Yes.
talking about the show Happy Place. This is a cartoon
Yeah.
made by a previous Bluey editor, Chris Bennett. It is not being
Well, not a
produced by
previous.
Ludo.
Not a previous. He's still...
Oh, he's still?
I'm pretty sure he still works. Yeah, I'm pretty
Oh.
sure he still works for Bluey.
I thought he
Uh,
completely separated to make the show.
No, that's
Okay.
I think that's like a separate project.
Okay,
because
it's
I'm
like a
not sure
separate
that'd
side
be-
project. Yeah.
Yeah, because so far how the show is going, sadly, it's not very popular on YouTube. You guys should all go check it out. It's called Happy Place.
I will put the link in
It's-
the description of the podcast.
Yeah, and it'll be on the Instagram. Along with his Instagram at Chris Animations.
Yeah.
It is a really good show. It has captured my attention. It kind of...
It's only like one episode as well, and
It's
like,
only one episode, and it's already grabbed my attention. Actually, there is the script for the second episode, and I'll give my thoughts about that later. But let's talk about what we feel about this, at least the first episode, and what our initial thoughts are. So, let's start with you, Owen. It seems like you're pretty excited about it, so I want to hear your thoughts.
Yep.
yeah. So, the initial idea for the show seems a bit like it seems kind of basic at first, and I think that's the point. It's supposed to throw off your expectations, and I think that's why the ending scene means so much because it's okay. So the story is about 12-year-old koala, who is the front-facing mascot of the most popular cereal brand in, I'm pretty sure, the world. And they go to their boss, who is a giraffe. Don't ask. Oh yeah, there's also a talking fridge.
All right, so
amazing.
I know their
like,
names. I know
amazing
their
show.
names. You're missing a key point. So the koala's name is Bailey. The fridge's name
Yes.
is Fridge. It's that simple. It's that easy. And then
Yes.
the giraffe boss, his name is Mr. Coltrane. I believe I said
Yes.
that right.
Yes, you did. Also, I'm not sure if you picked up on this. I was hoping you didn't because I know you in particular would like it. Do you know who voices what's their name? You just said it. The koala.
Koala. I do actually.
Oh, who?
I looked all the voice actors up. I could not find out who voices Mr. Coltrane or Fridge, but I did find someone. I don't know. I
Fridge
didn't
is
know
voiced
her
by someone
prior.
from Smosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I love Fridge's voice actor. There's a lot of just kind of like bland emotion.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of character
Mm-hmm.
in a fridge.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you know who in particular voiced Bailey? I think that's
I looked her up, and I saw that she was sort of a reputable person that I could
Okay,
actually
that's-
find out who she was, but I don't know
Yes.
all about her. So
But the biggest thing,
Oh,
She's
you're
the
gonna like
voice.
this. Yeah, you're gonna
She's the
really like
voice.
this. She's
She's the-
Alfie's mom.
yeah,
she
she's the
is
voice of Alfie's
Yes.
mom.
She is.
Yeah, yes, she is. I saw that on the Twitter. I mean, on the Instagram.
I
was
didn't
like,
know
oh,
that.
I'm so happy you didn't know that.
Oh.
there you- Yeah.
Well, for those of you who don't know, I'm utterly obsessed with Alfie. I have him as my phone lock screen.
Don't get that.
But I do love Alfie as a character because I found him really fun to relate to. I'm sure we'll talk about this once we get to the quiet game. But
Of course.
I do
But
love
yeah,
Alfie.
I just wanted to.
And I didn't
I knew you would
know
love that. I
he
knew
was
you would
voiced
love
by
that.
Alfie's mom. That makes me love the show even more. I already love this
Exactly.
show, but now I love it even more. So this kind of gives me... It feels like you wouldn't expect it to be as good as it is. The like
Mhm.
talking koala, talking fridge,
Giraffe,
giraffe. It all looks so
Unreal
childish.
Physics.
I'm gonna say this show definitely caught me off guard. In
It did.
multiple ways.
It caught me off guard in multiple places. I was
Like-
yeah, you go ahead.
So just a quick thing I wanted to mention because I only learned this today. The cloud that they run into, you don't think that's an important character at all. That's actually voiced by
Yeah, I know. I see that.
Chris.
Yeah.
I think it's Chris Bennett. I think that's how I
Yeah,
pronounce
Chris
his
Bennett.
name. Yeah,
Mhm.
Chris Bennett. So I just wanted to mention that. But it's like it seems like a childish show, like the ones you see on Cartoon Network back in
That's
the
what I was
day.
thinking. And then there's the jokes that are in there, and I'm like,
Exactly.
oh, okay. So
This
And
is
then
gonna be
maybe
a
I
weird
will
analogy.
actually like this.
This is gonna be a
Mhm.
weird analogy, but you know, kind of like how. Okay, this is gonna be weird to say, but you know how like Adult Swim sometimes has like those shows that completely catch you off guard. Like
I don't watch adults.
I don't watch
I don't-
Adult Swim either, but it just gives me those vibes. Like a show that the premise seems childish, the animation seems
It's so
childish,
basic. It's
but
like cereal.
when you get deeper into it, it has a lot more meaning and depth, and maybe
Mhm.
some humor you wouldn't expect from a show with that theming.
Yes.
And that's kind of in my notes. I just wrote down give me Adult Swim show vibes.
Yeah.
Not in like a way that's like an Adult Swim
Inappropriate.
show. Yeah, like a show that wouldn't be appropriate for kids, but just it's not
In
a
the way that's gonna be
age
funny.
level you'd expect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
A content level you'd expect from a show that looks like that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure it was advertised as Bluey, but for tweens and teens.
So I
Which
looked,
I can
I looked on the website.
I can
scoured
see
the
that.
Website. It says ages 6 to 11. That's what stated on the
Yeah.
website. But I feel like this is going to be a good show for teenagers as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think
The
it's
thing
gonna be
is-
another all-around show.
Yeah. So the first episode, it doesn't give you a lot of stuff. It's like just happens. Like it's been happening for a while now, which I kind of love. You get thrown right into it. It's not an
Mhm.
introductory episode where it's like, this is the fridge, blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Also, actually, now we're on the topic of the fridge. I'm not sure if you noticed, but the background artist, I think their name was, is at Isabel.Lama. They added some really fun, nice details for where the fridge, like, where he, I guess, sleeps and then wakes up in the morning. It's like all like bumped and broken around that area, and there's scratches on the wall
Ooh, I
because
didn't
he
notice
keeps
that.
coming in and out every
There's
day.
Aiden.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't notice that. Because, like, it makes
Also-
sense. Like,
Yeah.
fridge just, chills
Big-
at the wall.
yeah,
I
big
feel like I
fridge.
noticed that, but just ignored it. Like, there was a whole lot
Mhm.
going on, and I just, at that point, I was just like, oh, yeah. I didn't question it. I mean, we already have a talking
Mhm.
koala and talking koala and talking fridge, so at that point, I was like, I just didn't question anything.
So, for this like analysis kind of thing, I don't want to talk about the episode because then no one is going to want to watch it because it's very simple. But I do want to talk about
I think
I
we should talk about the plot.
that
So,
point.
we're gonna get way past this point and get in depth into a certain scene that really spoke to me.
Yeah.
And so if you want to get the true genuine experience of this episode and really be caught off guard by what this episode has to offer, I recommend just putting a pause on this episode, going to watch that. It's only like I believe it's only like 7 or 8 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
And so just give that a quick watch and then come back and hear what we have to say about it. So yeah, just a quick moment to click off and check that out. But now that those who want to watch it are off watching it, we can
Yeah.
continue. We can
Yeah.
continue talking about this amazing pilot episode for the show.
I'm not even sure if it's a pilot episode. I think it's actually the first episode because
Yeah,
it never
first
says
episode.
anywhere.
but
pilot.
It feels like a pilot. It feels like a proof of concept to me. Like it's a first episode, yeah. But
I wouldn't say that. The animation and art
no.
and everything is
not in like a way. It's like a kind of like a beta stage kind of thing. It's just diving right into what
Yeah.
the show has to offer, and it's presenting it. So it is trying to hook the initial audience. That's the entire point of like a pilot. It's showing something and showing that it is good. And it did that really well. So that's what I mean when I say kind of like a pilot, to like really send this series of episodes off, however many there may be. So yeah, that's what I mean. But yeah, continue with the plot.
Yeah. So, one way or another, while trying to get moon rocks to put in the cereal because marketing, they land on the moon. Yeah.
Okay, we skipped a few steps here. We skipped a
lot of stuff.
So, all right, how about I take this? How about I take this from here?
Yeah,
Because I'm actually really passionate about this. I have watched this, I believe, like 3 times over, and I enjoyed every single time.
Twice. It's pretty good.
And so they talk with Mr. Coltrane about launching a new product, which would be a new cereal.
Sales are down 2%.
Sales are down 2%. Bad. Okay. Bad. And so they want to make an authentic, like, I think it was like Moon Rock Crunch. And so while Fridge just wants to pick up some random rocks on the ground and pass them as moon rocks, Bailey wants to take it a step further. And in this universe, there's just a hill with a giant slingshot on it. So
that's like an actual location.
That's
like
a location.
If you go onto the website, if you go on the website, I didn't know this. There's a whole world.
Oh, I looked through the website. There's an entire world. I read through the entire 24-page script for the second episode. I went deep into this, man. I am really interested. But yeah, there's a whole map. So check out the website. I'll try and also remember to put that in the description. So hopefully I do. But they launched themselves using the slingshot, which is just like a slingshot hill, slingshot mountain.
Well,
they launched
first
themselves
they test
onto the
it.
moon. They test it with the lemonade jug.
No, the lemon iced tea.
Lemon iced tea.
And it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work. Oh, I'm sure that's not going to happen to us.
And what do you know? It doesn't.
It doesn't. It's very convenient.
And so they land on the moon. And no, that wasn't where the Uranus joke comes in. There's a Uranus joke somewhere there.
That Uranus
joke
is
the Uranus joke.
And that's where I was like, oh, okay, that would definitely not pass in Bluey.
No way, yeah.
And that was like my first revelation.
Disney. Not past Disney.
Not past Disney.
No, not even Disney. That's why it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if it would pass YouTube Kids, which is what it's on.
Okay,
no, it would pass YouTube Kids.
Yeah, you're right.
There's some questionable content on YouTube Kids. I'm sure
there is, yeah. Much more weird
and
things
so they're on the moon. And
you do.
And they collect moon rocks. It just opens up his fridge face, shoves rocks in it, and closes it, and they're ready to go home. But then Bailey realizes that they don't know how to get home. And this part,
there's a line in there.
No, I have it written down word for word. I wanted to talk about this in depth. So at this point, Bailey says a quote, "I'm almost a teenager. Aren't I supposed to have my life together by now?" And at this point, I stood up, pointed at the screen. No, yes, pointed at the screen. Pointed at the screen and said, "You thought." And it made me laugh for a little bit, and then I would just start like, wait.
You know, that's
self-reflecting.
Yeah, that was the line that probably got.
That is the line that made me self-reflect.
That is the line.
I laughed.
That's the line that
moment,
made me think that like.
I stood up and laughed, and then I sat back down and was like, because like as a kid, I saw being a teenager as like freedom and taking life by the horns. In some aspects, it is that. No, but like we have jobs, we have money now. But again, we have jobs. That's the thing.
And then we're also like, oh, so I have to do this thing called like college.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to think about that.
And then like actually get a job and then pay taxes.
And
she's only 12.
I know, but this is what happens when you start to think about all that stuff.
Yeah, but as you go further down the line, like I was just like, you haven't even gone. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
Bailey does
really.
have a job though. She is kind of
Yeah, I
like
guess.
working as a, but I mean, yeah, that is what it is. But I think the point of this episode was you gotta take problems as they come, and she kind of figures it out. Like she's got. I mean, you're not gonna have your life together. You're gonna
Yeah.
have problems. You
Yeah.
gotta figure it out. You gotta tackle them, take them as they come, and it tossed this thought-provoking jab a little bit out of nowhere. But
Exactly, that's what I love.
it came out of nowhere. Like I was not expecting this,
So-
but it revealed like a little bit of truth about growing up, and
So,
I have a little more to say. Just let me finish this.
Oh my god. Okay.
He's gonna be talking the whole time.
These notes. I had so many thoughts. I just pour it all out here. But that's what this show seems to be about. So Bluey succeeded here and there with the same idea. Barky Boat's being about growing up and having feelings mature. Sleepy Time is about Bingle's struggles as she grows up. And Quiet Game is got a few relatable first job moments as a teenager. And if that's kind of the stuff we can expect from this show, it's gonna be a huge win. So sorry I talked a little bit long about it. I'm very, I guess, interested in this show. I was just not I was not prepared for this
Okay.
out of nowhere.
So, now that he's done, I was gonna say that, with that, I feel like that was kind of the most serious part of this entire episode. And, with that being said, it really sparks my interest on what else is going to be happening throughout this show, and like
Yeah.
what serious stuff is going to be covered.
Like, I
Because
looked at the
especially
website.
because of the character's age.
Mm-hmm.
He's 12. And,
I looked at the website. There's actually
so-
lots of new characters that haven't even been
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that will hopefully become part of the show. And I already talked about the whole world building thing. And also, big fact that we forgot to mention, it is very obviously by people who work on Bluey. The art style is gorgeous.
sound
and
design.
Yes, the sound design is also really good. Of course,
But-
by our favorite, Dan Brum,
Damn
who
right.
does the sound
Of
design.
course.
I'm not sure if he does the sound design for the music or just the Foley,
Hold on.
because I talked to him
Oh, no,
on
somebody else is on
Instagram.
the music. He's on sound design though.
Yeah, because I talked to him on Instagram and I asked him, "Wait, do you do like just Foley for the episodes, or do you also do like other things?" And I think he said like, "No, I just do Foley." But I'm not completely sure. I can.
I
check again.
absolutely, I am loving this so far. I think it's, at first I was like, wow, I'm not really too sure about this.
Yeah, I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this looks very generic and boring."
And then I'm
And then
like,
there's a
oh,
few
never
jokes.
mind. And
Yeah, there's a
That
few
one
jokes in
scene
there.
just comes out of nowhere, and it's like,
Exactly.
thank you,
wait,
whatever.
wait, it's
Also-
Bluey all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Bluey, again,
Again.
the moment when she looks at the planet, there's no way.
Okay,
heck,
yes,
you can't.
yes.
You can't.
Oh,
Sleepy time? Yes.
There's no way that's
that
not
scene was beautiful.
inspired. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm glad you caught that too, because I kind of forgot
Mhm.
about that. But now that you mentioned it again, I thought the same exact thing.
I was gonna
Mhm.
mention that, but I have so many things I want to say. There's so many things I want to say, and it's all jumbled around. I'm just like,
If you have more
there's
stuff
so
to say,
many cool things. I'm trying to go along with the conversation here. I kind of got my big point across
Mhm.
with that main scene.
Uh,
But
also, yeah, if you have more to say, I'm just gonna throw a few quick things.
yeah, keep going.
Another person in charge of the art and design is at Snay, I think, or Star. I wrote it down here. I'm not sure. Go check them out on Instagram. And you know that this show cares. When you look at the website, they have a printable cereal box.
Mm-hmm.
They have a cereal box for the show. I think that's so cool. And I don't know why, but I feel like the people in charge, like their end, like this is just a theory of mine, but I think their end goal is to have an actual cereal based on the show.
Oh yeah, I love. I was reading the ingredients in the cereal box.
That'd
I'm
be
like,
abs-
that
that'd
stuff
be
ain't too bad. Like honestly,
No.
it seems like a pretty decent cereal. Like it's not just sugar. It actually seems like it might actually be good for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go on the website, read the ingredients.
For you?
But I don't-
This modern day.
Number one
I
cereal.
don't know. I don't know if you did this, Owen, but there's a script on the website. I read through all
I did
24
not read
pages,
that.
and it is very interesting. So it's
I
hard
may read it.
to convey. I'm just gonna touch on a few things from there. Only stuff that I remember. I didn't make too many notes on that. I also have a few other things I want to mention, but it's not gonna take too long. But there is going to be a few new characters introduced in the second episode. We are not gonna see the marshmallow monkey and the lion broccoli guy. Quite yet. I think it's probably gonna be a future episode. But
Oh,
we
will
are
the
gonna see
Japanese vending machine
the
be?
fridge. Yes, fridge's love
Oh,
interest. Yes.
I
So
like how it's a
that's-
Japanese vending machine. I think that's so cool.
Mhm.
I think it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like specifically.
And
a Japanese vending
she
machine.
has an important role in the story at the end. We're also
Oh, I
gonna
have not
see
heard that.
we're gonna see the villain, the main villain, Coco Bro, which has a contrast to I guess the cereal company that Bailey represents, because his is very sugary and unhealthy, and
Oh, it's kind of like a
I'm just-
SpongeBob.
Mhm.
It's like a plankton.
Oh,
version
yeah,
of
I'm
you're
thinking
right.
about the
Krusty
script.
Krab
You
kinda
need
thing.
Owen.
Oh.
You need to read the script. It gets
I
so
might.
goofy.
I might.
But yeah, the
I
cereal.
I need to read the script too.
You do. The cereal is just. It's funny, but I'm very excited for that episode. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's a few things to be excited for in there. There's a few teenage moments. I don't think any of them have like really big lessons. Like reading it, I didn't feel like, oh, this is a massive moment where.
It's probably
You're
gonna
gonna
be the
get hit in
show
the
that
feels.
progresses.
I think
Mhm.
it will be
To-
gradual.
It'll
be
Rather than
gradual,
mention
yes.
it every episode.
Because I mean, that's
There are
I
a
think-
few nods to it. There is one. Since the next one's set in like a mall, there is a few nods
Mhm.
to it here and there. There's
Yeah,
like
they already
one
have
kind of
art
big
for
one.
that. They
Yeah, I
already
think
have
they
art
do.
for the next episode.
I think they do, yeah. So that's looking exciting. But I have a couple other screenshots I just want to go over really quick. So this is kind of like a little note from the animator, or the creator of the show. He says, I've been crazy in love of cartoons as far back as I can remember, which lands somewhere in the early 90s. I was free and indulged in the very best animated shows every weekend, thanks to my satellite to surrounding parents. So there's a whole lot here, but there's one line that really shows something about what the plans for the show is, and he says he aims to develop a series for slightly older kids that's hilarious, heartfelt, and unforgettable. This kind of seems a little bit like Bluey, hilarious,
Yeah.
heartfelt, unforgettable, and you can definitely tell that style is there. It's just matured a little bit you can see that it's like Bluey, but for a little bit older kids as they go into those teenage years. It's kind of like a coming of age show is what I see it being, and
Yes.
I like it. So there's a few other episodes. There's a few like little synopsises of other episodes to come, but y'all can check that out on the website. I'm gonna put in the description, and you can read through the script. You can check out all the stuff that's on the website.
There's a lot there.
There's a lot, and I recommend y'all look through it. But I think we touched on all the main points. I have said all that I wanted to say, I think.
Yes, I have.
have y'all?
I have just a few more, like, what do you think is gonna happen, kind of thing. So
Mhm.
the first thing, do you think this show will, like, forever will be YouTube content, or do you think it will be distributed by some company on a streaming service?
That is a very good question. I feel like at this point where it is right now, where there's probably like a dozen people that work on the show. Like, if you look for the credits, it's not as many people as you see working on Bluey. There's probably like a dozen names in there that are working on it, and so for that, I feel like they wouldn't be able to make these episodes as regularly as Bluey does because there's not
Yeah.
as big of a team. And so I think at this point, unless the team gets bigger, it's probably gonna be like maybe every month or two a new episode gets put out, and just like
I feel like every
gradual
month or
series.
two.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably what it's gonna be like. And if the team gets bigger, this could definitely be a show that gets put on streaming services or on TV networks. But as it is right now, that's probably not going to happen in the near future.
Yeah. And last
Maybe it will.
question.
We don't know.
Last
What are we
question.
kidding?
Yeah. Last question. Do you think this will be better than Bluey?
I think
I'm not answering that question.
All right.
I
think
hold my own respective opinions, and I'm not trying to
I
be
think
that guy.
both
Both shows-
both of you are probably a little bit nervous to answer this question. I think
Mhm.
Bluey is going to be a hard show to beat. I see
Exactly.
so much potential here. I see it being on par or maybe even better than Bluey for tween to teenage audiences if carried out right. So
Yes.
this
It's not like a rude thing to say
Mhm.
that it's not going to be better than Bluey because Bluey is like a
Blu-
masterpiece.
Bluey is
Everyone
a
knows
hard
that.
show to beat. I think the potential is there. I think him having learned his experience at Ludo Studios, learning from Joe Brum, that's a lot of like
Mhm.
experience to have, and you can see in this first episode that it's kind of the quality is there.
Yes.
Where the show gets taken and how it presents certain ideas is going to be what's going to make or break the show.
It
And-
really is.
As it stands, I am still wholeheartedly invested in Bluey, but I will be watching the progress on Happy Place eagerly and seeing what's going on there because it has been a surprising interest for me over the
Yeah.
past week, and
Oh, yeah.
I'm really enjoying it.
Oh.
That's all I have to say. Yeah.
With me,
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
my opinion on this. I said I wasn't gonna say it, so I'm gonna indirectly answer the question. Both shows are have very. Jeez, what am I trying to say here? Both shows, different. Bluey, other than the fact that Cartoon Dogs is a very realistic show.
That's true.
And that is something that I lean more towards. And overall, Bluey is, in my opinion, going to be the more relatable show for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And respectively, I love this show, but I don't think it's. I think it's going to be a great show, and I'm gonna love both of them. I just don't. I don't know. I'm not. I think it's too early to start making judgments like that.
Yeah, that's true.
B, unfair to make judgments like that. And
I
C,
don't think I'm gonna be
both
crying.
both shows are gonna have amazing
Yeah.
futures. Bluey already has an amazing past, but it's gonna have an amazing future as well, probably. And now Happy Place has me hooked, and I know that it's probably gonna have a amazing future as well, looking at all the stuff they have lined up. So, with that being said, yeah, that's where I'm standing.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, that's.
I don't think Happy Place is gonna make me cry anytime soon. I bet
it might
I'll
for
get.
me.
I don't know.
I'm
We don't know.
That's true, that's true.
We don't know. We have
We don't know.
synopses for the
there
shows,
is-
but we haven't seen it on screen,
I
like
think
how
we're
it's
getting a
carried
bit
out.
ahead of ourselves here.
Yeah,
because
Exactly.
we kind
I
of
don't
are.
know.
It's,
we don't know.
We
That's why
can't
I'm-
say
that's why
where
I'm
the
open.
show's gonna go.
I'm open
Yeah.
with my opinions right now.
Mhm.
I'm not really trying to make it a competition because
Oh no, it's not a
at the
competition.
end of the day,
They're very
two
different.
shows that we're gonna probably like. And by probably like, I mean like, because we already like them both.
Yeah.
But yeah. But with this all being said, as always, I'm Elijah.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm Owen.
this has been the Around the Creek podcast. See you next time.
Bye.